Hey dudes, what's up? Today we're going to talk about solo projects and solo albums. And I would like to start out by saying that I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing, but I do have a couple solo albums that I do like. For example, Vince Neil's Exposed, David Lee Roth's Crazy from the Heat. Well, that's an EP. But my point is, there is really not that many solo albums that are that great to me. I think you're truest and your best with your band. And I definitely want to I definitely want to get into that, and you'll see why. Like I was explaining, solo albums from already established artists aren't the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not my favorite thing. Especially because some solo albums they try to sound too different or too much alike from the band, if you get what I'm saying. And solo albums from upcoming artists, well, that shouldn't even happen. Especially because solo albums from already existing bands, sometimes members get kicked out or the band starts moving in different musical directions. With up and coming bands, you haven't even learned what your band's all about yet. And that's the point of having your band. You gotta learn who you all are. You can't just go solo when you guys aren't even really your own individuals yet. You're still young and new on the market. A band is definitely like a family because, well, like all good bands in the past, first of all, they live together. And I think it's really important for bands to live together because you gotta stay on each other's toes and make sure that, everything is okay with the band and make sure that we're all on the same page. And how are you supposed to know these things when you have to go home to separate places after the concert or after you hang out? Like, how are we supposed to know what is going on? Like, and not only do you live together, you gotta fight, you gotta make up, you gotta respect, you gotta care for each other. There's so much involved to being in a band. I mean, you know your band members better than anybody else knows them, and vice versa. Just you gotta build that relationship, and it's really, really important. And that's why having a solo album separate from your band is kind of like having an affair because, first of all, you're making music with different people. And music is a very passionate and primal thing. You can't just talk about these things that you want to add to the music with these different people. It's just weird and they're not gonna get you as much as your band does. It just doesn't make sense. But it's just so much worse to have for up and coming artists to have these solo endeavors because, like I said, your band is just fresh, it's new, and really you haven't experienced anything together yet, and you haven't found what what you're really looking for in your band and your sound, your look, and your message. And honestly, it's easy for someone like a girl or any other band that finds you as a threat to basically infiltrate and have you guys more like fighting or on bad terms or anything like that, or just get into that person's mind, especially if their mind's weak enough, be like, okay, I don't want to do this kind of music anymore. I don't know if I want to be in a band anymore. Stuff like that. Make them rethink everything. And it's really dangerous to when you're starting a band for anyone to be on their own. It's really dangerous, especially because some people just aren't that strong from the beginning. And I feel like social media really makes it even worse because now everyone is very impatient when it comes to making music because now you're getting fans online and stuff like that, and people are seeing themselves as established band because now they're getting recognized and they're not going through any of the things that bands are supposed to be going through. And social media kind of takes all that away and takes away the job of being a musician, and which it's a 24/7 job, and you can't just have it easy that way. And that's what social media is doing. It's like they want to have it all without working for it, and that is not how you make a band. All in all, these bands these days just don't have any loyalty or trust or faith in each other, and they have none of that for themselves. It's so easy to break them apart, and really they should just be building each other up and do some, I don't know, some team building exercises to help them along the way. But it seems they're just not doing that. They're not being a team, because a band is really a team. It's a family, and you have to make it stronger. You have to find that loyalty that you are supposed to have for each other, and that faith. Very important. And I just want to add, those 4 solo albums from Kiss were hot. And I thought that was kind of cool how they produced that together and wanted to keep the band together and keep them strong. And I thought that was a really great idea. Some more people should maybe try that instead of going off on their solo ventures and ruining everything. But that's all I have to say about solo anything. And if you can, try to keep your bands together. And happy Halloween. I'm going to be a baseball fairy this year, so signing off. See you later.